At the centre of a forest, in a bitingly cold winter, 3 young people make a horror film. As the temperature drops and the light starts to die, old hates and fears are laid bare and ignited. Miranda Barrett's debut play Birdwatching is an account of obsession, power, gendered violence and the individual ways we fall apart. Running from the 22nd to 24th of October at the Space as part of the London Horror Festival. Produced by Anarchy Division. Visit www.londonhorrorfestival.co.uk for details.
Life's a game, the world's a stage, and we are merely role-players, where theatrical people play role-playing games. I'm Matt, I'm your compere for this backstage episode from our current main house production, and I'm joined by the cast of that production.
You're listening to Josh. I'm playing Ginny Greenteeth, the Spellslinger.
Hi, I'm Ellie, I'm playing Percy Byron, the Exile.
Hi, I'm Nat, I'm playing Gwynned, the Divine.
Hello there, my name's Alex, and I'm going to be playing Graham, the Summoned.
And for this backstage episode, we are going to focus in a little on Ginny Greenteeth, although this is potentially stuff that can affect everybody. Josh, you didn't spend any luck in Cold Snap.
Didn't need to.
Didn't need to. Rolled too well.
All right, boasting.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. But
shit.
in the event that Ginny Greenteeth does spend luck, do you want to tell us what happens?
Yes, I incur the wrath, or indeed the interest, of the Guild of Wizards, or the Wizards' Lodge.
The Council of Wizards, I think, is the wording. So the game leaves this very open to interpretation, what on earth the Council of Wizards is and means. So in anticipation of Ginny maybe having to spend luck this session, I'm sure she won't, I'm sure she'll need it again, we thought we'd delve a little bit into the kind of various magical groups in our setting. So just to quickly run down the ones that have already been established, we have the Department of Omissions, who are sort of less a magical group and more of a government group, but definitely still have some magical practitioners involved. Currently on the wane, had their budgets cut under austerity, pulling out of all of the regional offices and just consolidating down in the big towns, big cities. We also have established, at the end of Tourist Trap, the Endless Night, who all we really know about them is that Jess and Callisterius were once members. Cal left because they didn't appreciate his expertise, and Jess left because Kit told her to. And they may very well have had a hand in the summoning of the Tourist Trap, or the manifestation of the Tourist Trap, but we don't really know anything else about them. Who have I left out? Who else have we got in terms of magical organisations? There's some witches in the forest.
Yes. Yeah, the Three Ladies of the Wood.
Yeah, who we talked about in Ginny's backstage episode way back when.
Indeed, yeah.
And so then we now have this, in Ginny's luck move, the Council of Wizards. We need to work out, are they a new organisation that we're throwing in the mix, or is that just a word that we're going to use for one of the existing ones? And generally, what does the magical community of England in this setting look like? I want to kind of go out beyond Sheridan for this and think about the national picture.
Sure. I think it should be a new organisation.
Okay.
I don't think any of the other organisations really fit the bill. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to draw quite heavily from the universe of The Witcher, which I'm obsessed with, as you might have already guessed. Within that realm, there's an organisation called the Lodge of Sorceresses and Sorcerers, and they are magically inclined individuals in a land where there's not a lot of magic. There's lots of monsters, but only certain people can do big, proper spells, and so they're they're super important. They're ballsy, they know what to do. And what they do is, as a lodge, is they come together in a place called Aretusa, where they all learnt their skills, to discuss happenings in the world. And they are all given individual cities, rulers, emperors, kings to work with, and essentially kind of pull the strings behind the scenes, or at least listen for gossip, pick up whispers, pluck secrets from all the corners of the kingdom and bring them together. So I'm going to take that and merely roleplayers it, visualize it. So I think that within this realm, the wizards, I don't know the word wizards, the sorcerers, they hold a great amount of power. I mean, we all do magic to a certain degree, right? And so it's fairly common. However, I like the feeling that there is people that can do it much better than us that exist out there.
There's your hedge magics and your kind of sympathetic magics and that kind of thing, and your like witch woman medicines and potions and things. And then there's the big combat magic stuff that Ginny does, which is a kind of a different order of spell.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I think that there are sorcerers and sorceresses across the British Isles taking up certain positions within government, within business, within other sort of local authorities as a way to sort of infiltrate and use their magics either for good or for ill, for mischief, to try and keep a bit of a grip over the country. So there might be mayors of certain cities that are sorcerers or sorceresses. There might be local authority leaders. There might be business leaders, CEOs, people that hold great power to varying degrees across England that sort of pull the strings behind the scenes.
Interesting.
It's like lizard theory, that all the people in high ranks are actually just lizards, but they're actually wizards.
Wizard theory.
Wizard theory. I love it. You're getting me back because I ruined the Morrigan episode, aren't you?
They're all lizard wizards.
And the head is called King
Gizzard.
Yeah, I was waiting for that one to drop.
So I think that, like I say, there's like finance sorcerers that are in charge of the banks, the banks, and the mayors and city council leaders and MPs who are secretly sort of arcane influence, and they all come together on an island. Let's say they all come together on the Isle of Wight. Let's make that canon to discuss their grand scheming plans.
Amazing. Okay. And so this is an organisation that has the potential to interfere in Ginny Greenteeth's affairs if she gets herself into certain situations. So is Ginny affiliated with them? Is she a member, or are they just aware of her and might be aware of her machinations?
Are they all men? It feels like they're all men.
I don't think so. I think it is a mixture.
Okay.
What they're doing, the thing that all big Fortune 500 companies are doing at the moment, which is they're very much concentrating on the diversity at the board level. So, they're getting more, it's like the girl boss thing, right? They're not changing the organisation. They're not changing the culture of the organisation. They're just trying to recruit more.
Placing a few women.
Yeah.
Trying to place, female and non-white people within their boardroom so they can take a nice photo and upload it.
Yeah, who won't kick up a fuss or try and make any actual changes.
I think maybe the face of the sorcerers and sorceresses would have, for hundreds of years before, would have all been men, because any powerful woman, burn her as a witch, even though ironically a lot of us are witches. And so as the years have developed, more and more, I guess female faces come into the frame. I don't think she works with them. I think that Ginny has been too imbued with magical, and she, of course, was a simple peasant girl in a Lancashire village. That's where she came from. I think they're just aware of her. I think there's a big database of all of the sorcerers, sorceresses, witches, mages, etc. That they are aware of to varying degrees of strictness and authority.
Okay.
Ginny definitely gives off too much of that. We mentioned it before, like the chaotic Disney granny. She gives off too much of that energy to be part
of any
organisation.
She's got big mad Madame Mim vibes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what do we think their goals and agenda is? They've got their fingers in finance and politics and all of this kind of stuff. To what end?
Well, it's clearly not stopping the apocalypse.
No.
Is it control for control's sake?
It sounds like personal power is a big motivation.
Yeah.
I think, I agree with everything that you've said. I think that they haven't got a grand plan, because there's too many of them and they're all so big-headed and arrogant that it's like they're just wrapped around their own egos and it's just taped up with bureaucracy and no one can actually get anything done. So when they come together on the Isle of Wight, it's just like a big argument and a big, horrible multinational board meeting.
Right. They have arguments about things like what colour trim their robes should have.
Yeah, absolutely.
There are slide decks, there are team bonding exercises. There are buffets.
Yeah, it's all sorts of horrible trust falls and all sorts of things.
Oof. Yeah, so I can definitely see that as being an organisation that Ginny would not want poking their noses into her business.
No. Ginny's a bit of a libertarian. She doesn't believe in big government. She doesn't believe in being told what she can do. She just wants to live off the land and charge overpriced prices in her gift shop.
She hasn't paid any corporation tax for the Grove of Oddities ever.
She likes doing the right thing, doesn't she? So an organisation like that who are really just into what's going to work for them. And you can imagine that if there's some kind of big crisis with, the impending apocalypse or, whatever, the Winter King turning up, they're just going to be like, oh, but I'm very busy putting this spell on some stocks and shares right now.
We can't divert resources because you didn't submit Form SQ5/D before, 2 weeks beforehand. So
they're too busy just in their downtime sat just meditating off in the astral plane and not actually caring about grounding the earth what's here.
In their astral yachts.
Yeah.
They are big, powerful, influential, very rich people that are more interested in the folly of exploring space and the astral world rather than fixing the problems of what's down here on Earth. Microphone drop.
Even though they could do it really easily.
Really
wanted
easily.
to.
Wouldn't even notice the money going.
No.
I, for one, believe that we will all benefit from those dalliances into the outer realms. So
I hear they're going to take all of us poor people with them. You know, when they get the chance.
When they get the chance.
Your ticket.
You are playing an accountant though, so in a way you are one of them.
I am one of them.
But you're also from one of the realms that they're probably exploring.
They're trying to get to, and I'm like, why are you trying to go there?
It's horrible.
It's rubbish.
That's the bad side of the tracks.
Yeah, no, don't go there.
They've probably got emissaries who deal with the the hellish planes and with the Feywild and all the other planes of existence.
Oh God, they could turn up and try and audit you.
Oh God.
Audit your magic.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, there seems to be lots of ingredients that are missing from your stores that you've got listed down. But that was Gwyn. She blasted through, stole what she wanted.
Can you tell us? It seems that you used Eye of Newt in a potion in this says 16 lifetimes ago. Can you tell us about that?
No. The forever audit. Yeah, not interested.
On that subject, I would like to know how rare, does Ginny know any other people who've lived multiple lives the way that she has? Or do you think that's kind of a more rare thing?
I think it's quite rare.
Because you said you had to make a deal with the Elder Ones, whoever they are, we will discover that one day. And that they're kind of taking a toll every time you reincarnate, potentially. So, is it something other people would do? Do you know any other serial reincarnators?
Probably not, but then she doesn't really get out much. She went from Lancashire to Brackshire to Sherrydown and has stayed there because every 5 minutes a new monster appears, so she's got lots of things to be taking up her time.
Busy.
She's a busy lady. I don't think she knows of many other people like this. She obviously knows people like Briar that have been around longer than her and Graham who've been around longer than her, but no one seems to be... There's lots of mortals and immortals, and she's like a polymortal. Yeah. She just has a life, and then it ends, and then she has another one. She gets a plus one life. She gets a bonus life every couple of decades.
Cool.
I had some thoughts as well about the localized branch of the Wizards Council.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Because I think it varies depending on where you are.
Are we going with Wizards Council or Wizards Lodge? Because if it's Wizards Lodge, I quite like the idea of just loads of really magical beavers.
Damn it. And we're off the rails again.
Freemason beavers.
Yeah, little Freemason beavers with those little skirts that they wear. Little tabards.
And now we've annoyed
the Freemasons. So I'm going to die. That's my life over.
That's another load of subs lost. I think that the regional, the Brackshire branch of the Sorceresses Guild or Lodge...
I like Guild. So, nice. Because if Sorcerers and Sorceresses Lodge is the Witcher thing, let's use a different word.
Yeah, we don't want to upset another pre-established world. I think that, like everything in Sherrydown and Brackshire, it's a bit twee and it's a bit small and it's a bit neglected. So this particular sect is, in my head, it's the villagers in Sanford in Hot Fuzz when they're all sat around the circle with the hoods up and the torches underneath their faces. They can do magic, but they're all a bit old and, pale male and stale and just so doddery. We've talked before about it being a little bit women's institution and a little bit Jackie Weaver-esque, and they're all just like
Parish council.
Yeah.
Does it mean the kind of spells they're doing are stuff like to make my marrow bigger than Bob's down the road, so win in the fate?
Oh my god, yes. So just like petty, venal bollocks. Love
100% of their magic goes into them winning the Village of the Year competition every single year. Yeah,
We've got to make sure that our flowers look the best.
Yeah. So I think on the whole they leave the magical beings alone, mainly because they're probably scared of most of us because we're more powerful than they are. But they've also got to get involved if the higher ups hear about all this nonsense that's going on and force them into action.
Ironically, it's that super petty stuff that would have been the most likely thing to get them burned as a witch in the old days.
Yep.
They can do it now.
For sure.
They're in a position of power to do it now. The other thing to possibly have a touch on just briefly today is the Endless Night. Just because I'm wondering, now that we've established that Ginny was there when Graham was summoned, and the Endless Night are a cult type group in the local area who have already been established as having summoned a thing, i.e. the tourist trap. So I wondered how we all felt about it being them, what summoned Graham.
Who summoned Graham?
Yeah.
That makes sense, because it's something that you would know about, and it's something we've established, so the idea of Ginny kind of infiltrating the Endless Night and being like, no.
Pressing a few buttons and typing in some new code.
Like literally just turning a rune around 180 degrees and being like, getting a Graham.
So each of the runes has got like a symbol of what you're going to get. So rather than being a flaming hell sword, you just turn it to like an accountant's notepad or something.
Because I'm seeing the Endless Night very much as like where the Sorcerer's Guild is the professional, corporate, high-powered, highfalutin. The Endless Night are the amateur meddlers, the like teen Satanists of the magical world.
Yeah, it feels like it's, Ellen's character, Jess, is the perfect kind of, epitomises that kind of membership of local goth looking to get some excitement, and it's probably got a couple of like older people in it who are like someone's aunt who's really into crystals.
That's another section of society that we've written off there.
If you like crystals, do apologise.
Ginny fit in perfectly.
Yeah.
Love crystals.
Local old lady hippie.
Does that mean Calistarius and Jess were part of the group when Graham was summoned, or did they leave before then?
Oh.
Ooh, that's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if we've established that timeline yet, because we know Graham was summoned about 10 years ago, and I don't know if we established when Cal and Jess were members.
I think that would make Jess too young.
It would make Jess too young, I think, so she probably wasn't there.
Obviously I'm not speaking for Chris on this, but I feel like Cal would not be into summoning a demon.
Apocalyptic demon.
Because I feel like this group, right, they must, for them to be summoning an apocalyptic demon, they're not very sensible.
No.
They're not thinking about the ramifications if it works. So I feel like Cal would have been someone going, you know what, guys, maybe let's not summon a demon.
maybe like they're not that good at all, and Ginny knew that they couldn't possibly summon the demon without her help, and she was like, well, I don't want to bring about like an apocalyptic demon, so I'll get the one that I like.
But if she knew that they wouldn't be able to do it without her help, surely she'd just not help, and then it wouldn't happen at all.
Oh, good point, yeah. That's some
I feel like it could have been someone else, like at Graham's level, but who was an absolute arsehole.
Yeah. I feel like they
boss.
just
Tim.
Tim.
I feel like this
Sorry
group
to all the Tims out there.
Add to the list of people we've upset this season.
I think it sounds like the kind of group that just accidentally sometimes get it right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
So it may even have been, depending on how the timeline matches up, if Cal was a member at the time, maybe he then spoke to Ginny and was like, I really don't think this is a good idea.
Yeah, could have happened.
So
If they can summon a tourist trap.
That's a really good point as well. They've obviously got some degree of
but maybe they're doing
ability.
like a spell a week
Yeah.
and like a third of them work.
Yeah.
They got a subscription box.
So it's like a HelloFresh box that turns up with all your little components.
Bits of lavender.
Yeah, that's it. I put that on there and then it just explodes in their face.
But have you ever watched the film Bedknobs and Broomsticks?
Yeah.
And the main character is an aspiring witch, and she literally subscribes to a postal what's it called? Like a course on how to become a witch.
Oh, God.
And the guy who's doing the course thinks it's all nonsense. Is just sending a bunch of stuff from an old book. But because she has some kind of latent magic, it works when she does the spells. So maybe it's that kind of situation.
Yeah.
There's just some shyster who's sending out like a spell a day or whatever it is, like via email.
First episode, first one is like 99p, and then everything after that is 14.99.
That's how they get you. That's how they get you.
Yeah. Yes, I love that. That's so very our aesthetic.
Yeah.
Nice. Any further questions about any aspect of the magical community of this world?
Are there any personalities? Like, I know, like, you've got, like, I don't know if he actually exists, but Aleister Crowley.
Oh, yeah.
So, like...
Yeah, he really existed.
He did really exist, yeah. I've seen him appear in so many books. I'm like, is he a fictitious character? I don't know. So is there any one character in Sherrydown or just anywhere else that we want to create? I don't know. I just thought about it.
So do we think that we've got like a Jackie Weaver-esque head of the Brackshire Sorcerers Guild regional division who gets involved?
She does have the authority.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Maybe as an homage, the first name could be Jackie.
Done.
Yeah.
Right, so it's Jackie.
Beaver.
You said you wanted beavers. That's canon. Is she also the mayor?
Yeah, we haven't established if there's a mayor
We
in...
haven't established the mayor.
Jackie Beaver.
It could be the
Mayor
mayor.
of Sherrydown.
We got you, Jackie Beaver.
Why not? Huh? What's wrong with Jackie Beaver?
Write it down, Matt. Right, it's canon now. Write it down.
What are some beaver-related words that can be a reference instead?
Damn.
Jackie Dam.
Damn, Jackie.
Damn, Jackie.
Sounds like Jean-Claude Van Damme. Jackie.
Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
You do Dambrook.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Jackie Dambrook.
Dambrook is a good
That's
surname.
really nice.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
good.
Okay. Jackie Dambrook.
Beaver to her friends.
Mayor of Sherrydown and also General Secretary of the Brackshire Sorcerers Guild.
Okay, Jackie the Beaver Dambrook. Great.
Well, maybe we'll meet her, maybe we won't. The only way to find out is to listen to the story episodes. Let's get on to doing that. This has been Vigil, a main house production from Merely Roleplayers. It stars Natalie Winter as Gwynned, Alexander Pankhurst as Graham, Josh Yard as Ginny Greenteeth, and Ellie Pitkin as Persephone Byron. Sound design for this production is by Natalie Winter, and the theme music is by Alexander Pankhurst. I'm Matt Boothman, and I play the supporting cast, as well as editing and producing the episode. We were playing Monster of the Week, a role-playing game by Michael Sands, published by Evil Hat Productions. You can find Monster of the Week at genericgames.co.nz. Merely Roleplayers is a Foggy Outline production in association with Blackshaw Theatre Company. Until next time, if drama be the food of life, play on. Sometimes I have to push back a little bit.
I'm so glad you were like, I don't think I can let
Too far.
We're giving Alex more and more fucking rope to hang himself and us.
We keep saying yes to Alex and we're just going to fall down the pit.